Are the bears back in town for an extended stay or just a short getaway? Is this price action natural random market whims, or was this a planned crash so Wall Street can accumulate as much cheap Bitcoin as possible before the SEC approves the highly anticipated spot Bitcoin ETF? Is this the final shakeout? Well, here's what we know for sure. When measured by leveraged liquidation, this recent crash in the crypto markets is the biggest since FTX collapsed back in November of 2022, when Bitcoin dropped to around 15K. And taking a look at the Bitcoin chart, the price has fallen below the 200-day moving average, which is bearish. And taking a look at the main technical indicator I personally use to spot changes in long-term trends, the BSI, or Bitcoin Strength Indicator, if we close below this 26K price level for the week, which is by the time this video is posted, we will know if it did or not. And if it does close below, we are likely facing several weeks of sideways price action trending downwards. However, if we are able to stay above it, we may recover and continue the bullish trend we flipped into back in January of 2023. The last time the BSI flipped from bullish to bearish was back here in November 2021, when we reached the most recent all-time highs, and the bearish trend continued until it flipped here, like we said in January 2023. And now we are on the cusp of potentially flipping back to a bearish trend. So as crypto investors, it's important to note that the year before the Bitcoin halving is always a bit chaotic. And right now, the halving is slated to happen in March or April of 2024. And if you don't know what the Bitcoin halving is, check out this video guide for beginners by clicking on the link above. So the most recent scenario we can refer to is the year before the last halving, where we see this bullish trend from April 2019 to September 2019, and then these 4 months of sideways bearish price movement until January 2020. And then of course here in March 2020, we have the black swan event, coronavirus, until finally here in May 2020, the halving happens and we flip bullish and start the journey to all-time highs. So if history repeats itself, we could be entering a sideways downward bearish trend for the next several months or weeks, possibly through the rest of 2023. Or we recover quickly and remain on track, or really anything can happen. We could have another significant drop, or a crazy spike, or boring sideways movement. At the end of the day, we must take into consideration that Bitcoin has been the best performing asset of the year so far, up 80%. Second best was IT stocks, up only half as much as Bitcoin at 40%. And it also beat out other stocks, bonds, gold, and everything else. And we also saw a few weeks ago, Bitcoin turns less volatile than the S&P 500, tech stocks, and gold. July saw lowest Bitcoin trading volume since November 2020. Digital tokens' 30-day volatility is sitting at 5-year lows. And then just a couple days ago, Bitcoin and Ethereum are now less volatile than oil, according to Kaiko research. The summer doldrums are hitting Bitcoin and Ethereum hard, dampening the asset's historic volatility to multi-year lows. So my random wild guess is, given the small market cap of the entire crypto industry, it's still extremely prone to manipulation. And this time around, a lot of things are different, in that we have political leaders all around the world talking about it and adopting it, as well as huge asset managers and financial institutions like BlackRock and Wall Street talking about it and adopting it. And they will do anything to shake out the cheapest Bitcoin they can from the weak hands before the SEC approves a spot Bitcoin ETF, allowing a ridiculous amount of money that's been on the sidelines due to regulatory uncertainty to start flooding in. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So what else has been going on? What should we be aware of? What should our game plan be for the rest of the year? Hello, I'm Crypto Casey, and welcome to another episode of Crypto This Week. Let's take a look at the global news stories and the macro environment at large. Please be sure to check out our sponsors NordVPN, Heatbit, and Tangent Wallet. Protect your data, privacy, and crypto investments by using virtual private network services with NordVPN. That can also ensure you can access decentralized exchanges to trade altcoins. Passively invest in Bitcoin while warming or purifying the air in your home or office with Heatbit Mini, a space heater that is also an easy-to-use Bitcoin mining rig. We can pre-order at a 60% discount, and invest in your very own cold storage hardware wallet like Tangent Wallet. It's the size of a credit card, multi-currency, multi-chain, and it's by far the easiest crypto wallet to set up and use on the market right now. So scroll down and use links below to access the correct and official sites, as well as redeem any special offers they have for us. Sweet. So even though Bitcoin crashed, the Wolf of All Streets points out in this tweet that Bitcoin dominance is falling off of a cliff. This is a huge surprise to me. I was definitely wrong in assuming that a large Bitcoin dump would cause dominance to rise and people to sell their altcoins. Have no real thesis here. good news for my portfolio. So Bitcoin dominance just tracks how much money is in Bitcoin compared to the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So when dominance is high, more money is in Bitcoin than all the other cryptocurrencies. And when it's low, that means more money is on all the other cryptocurrencies instead of Bitcoin. Why is this important to be aware of as crypto investors? Well, the Bitcoin dominance just broke a 9-month upward trend. And taking a look at this chart, the last time this happened was in May of 2020 here, which is when altcoins went absolutely bananas, just started soaring to the moon. So historically, when Bitcoin dominance flips from an upward trend to a downward trend, it becomes more profitable to hold altcoins than Bitcoin. Not saying that's what's about to play out this time around. However, it's something we need to watch and monitor carefully because when altcoin season starts, it's like that. It's fast and it's furious. There are some altcoins I've been eyeing, following, and thinking about adding to my portfolio for the next bull cycle. If you're interested in a video breakdown of my not financial advice altcoin gem plays, let me know in the comments below. Because despite the Bitcoin drop, alts have been on fire the past few days, which also fits well with the theory of BlackRock and Wall Street manipulating Bitcoin to the downside to buy as much as possible as cheaply as possible, while the rest of the crypto market does its random natural flow, so to speak. So we could be in for a boring sideways last few months of the year, or a fiery explosion of alts through the holidays. Either way, we're going to find out, and we need to be paying attention, and we need to be ready with our bull cycle strategy, which if you want to see a guide on profit-taking strategies for the next bull run, check out this video guide for beginners by clicking on the link above. Cool. Another important thing to keep in mind, as Plan B pointed out in this tweet, for the newbies, even in bull markets, Bitcoin can drop minus 30% 6 times in a row and still pump 10x. And in this chart, as you can see in this bullish uptrend, it was peppered with 38% drops, 36% drops, 33% drops, and so forth. Keeping in mind, this is the year before the halving, which tends to be more volatile and risky. After the halving, if Bitcoin dips 30% or more, those are usually great times to stack sats. Given the recent crash and potential sideways downtrend over the next few months, honestly, this would be a great scenario for us because, like we've been discussing on the channel, investing in crypto over time, over the long term, is the best strategy. And the more time we have to DCA or dollar cost average into positions during a bear market, the more upside potential we have to take profits during the bull cycle. Nice. Despite the recent bearish price action, surprisingly, the mainstream media has been bullish. Check this out.
You know what's interesting about that, though, is Bitcoin's having a pretty good year. It's sort of a stealth rally, but it's a huge rally. It's still the best performing asset out there this year, isn't it?
That's right. Over 100% up this year. So it was outperforming equities, gold, bonds. You don't see any millennials bragging about TikTok and they bought bonds, right? They're talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah. So, yes. So that was last night. Yesterday, here's the headline. Bitcoin soars as Argentina, Javier, how do you pronounce it? Milei wins the presidential primary. This is the Bitcoin candidate?
That's right. And, imagine if you're a parent in Argentina and you go to sleep at night and you wake up and your currency has been devalued by almost 20%, which is the reality there. Inflation is over 100% year over year. The peso to the dollar, it's gone down 92%. So people are really struggling. And I think that they resonate with the message that Javier Milei is saying, which is that, you know what, inflation is theft. He's saying the quiet part out loud, and he's really advocating for the working class to be able to take back some of that economic power because they're losing it.
You know what I love about it, too, and it's like El Salvador, they're also saying to the IMF and the World Bank and those kind of folks, hey, you know what, you got us in a twist, you twist us in a knot. We take these loans that are prohibitively expensive. You tether us to these currencies and then you control them from afar, and we never have control of our fate. That's why Argentina, they have a currency crisis every other year.
Right.
I could see why they would want, an alternative. I don't want an alternative. Well, they wake up any given day, you could be down 20% on the peso there.
Right. Bitcoin is a risk-off asset in places like Argentina and Lebanon, where the currency is failing in real time, and Bitcoin has been a life raft.
And it's failing in slow motion here. All right. Speaking of politics, is there a presidential candidate that stands out with respect to Bitcoin?
I think it's worth pausing and noting the fact that for the first time in history, there are 4 presidential candidates that have named a digital asset, Bitcoin, and they are advocating for people's freedom to hold it and transact in it. This has never happened before. And now I don't like to put politicians on the pedestal, but that's never happened before in history that we have 4 president.
You're not going to tell us who they are?
Presidential candidates naming Bitcoin. Vivek, Suarez, RFK Jr., and DeSantis all saying Bitcoin for freedom.
Oh yes, the tides are turning in the political realm, the financial realm. Honestly, the whole world is on the brink of a massive change, and a lot of people and companies are making moves to front-run it in order to ensure their survival. Like MasterCard deepens tie to CBDCs as nations mull issuing digital currencies. Some of the first partners in the new MasterCard CBDC forum include Ripple, Fireblocks, and Consensus. See, it's crazy when we think about the fact that the financial system requires us to use banks and credit cards, all these third parties, in order to use our money. It's outrageous if you really think about it. And now with crypto, we can send any amount of money to anyone, anywhere in the world directly, and we can also completely own and control and custody our own money with cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. So these third-party financial providers like MasterCard, PayPal, and more are on the chopping block and need to adopt and integrate as soon as possible, or they won't survive in the new global financial system and environment at large. And countries are front-running the evolution by adopting crypto. The first country to take the plunge is reaping the benefits now. El Salvador's Bitcoin bet pays off as bonds skyrocket with 70% returns. Salvadoran bonds outperform emerging market peers, with yields falling by more than half. Investor sentiment towards El Salvador's economic prospects shifts, with the Bitcoin bet paying off. We've got nations front-running the evolution, leaving the United States in the dust, with Europe's first spot Bitcoin ETF lists in Amsterdam. The Jacobi FT Wilshire Bitcoin ETF is regulated by the Guernsey Financial Services Commission, GFSC, and will trade under the ticker Bitcoin. The listing means Europe will see a spot Bitcoin ETF traded before the US, despite dozens of applications to the Securities and Exchange Commission in the last few years. Bullish. So how can we front-run this evolution in the upcoming, absolutely face-melting altcoin season? By hitting the crypto gym now and training together in order to take advantage of our once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation opportunity to generate and secure a massive amount of wealth in crypto. If we are veterans in the space and proficient in advanced trading, or are just starting to develop new skills, Kraken Pro is extremely customizable and offers a wider variety of options we can use to leverage and hedge, so we can all get more creative and efficient with our overall trading strategies. Kraken Pro has low spreads, which lowers our average cost per trade. It has deep liquidity across markets, which allows us to trade large volumes at stable prices, and they offer us high rate limits, where we can trade crypto fast using their robust low latency API. In eligible regions around the world, they offer spot margin trading, where we can trade crypto with up to 5x leverage. This amplifies our exposure to volatility, giving highly experienced and expert traders more flexibility when executing advanced trading strategies. Also in eligible regions, Kraken offers futures trading, where we can expand our trading with over 100 plus perpetual futures with some of the lowest fees among crypto trading platforms. So whether we are new or experienced, Kraken is a perfect platform we can use to practice trading and become knowledgeable about advanced investment strategies. Awesome. If you would like to watch a guide for beginners about what the Bitcoin halving is and how it has affected the price historically, check out this video. If you would like to have that Eureka moment about how Bitcoin works and how it can help us maintain complete control over some of our wealth, check out this video. And to get your very own Tangem wallet, click on the link on the screen. Like and subscribe for more. Be safe out there.